100 and 110 votes or something like that, and she was up by 100 or something, and then when the independents pulled their support, she ended up losing by 100 points. So yeah, it was a 200 vote swing.
Yeah. So
and we have talk about, because we got another segment and we don't got time. We don't got that much time. But talk about your tax plan. 50 Cent left New York because he said when he saw his taxes, New York State was his partner. He said they didn't write no rhymes, they didn't produce nothing, but they was a partner. They was getting a partner share of his money, so that's why he left. So with that segment, we're going into 50 Cent's documentary on Diddy.
We need to talk about taxes all the time because people need to understand that the middle class kids, every time you say tax the rich, you might as well say, I'm raising prices on the middle class.
Right.
Facts.
So right. 50 Cent. Go ahead,
AJ.
He had a long 50 Cent is not 50. I love 50 Cent for one reason. Like, he's not somebody to make an enemy of. So because he is petty, but good petty. But he made himself a thorn in Puff's side, and because of something Puff did back in the days. He said it had to do with Puff asking him to take him shopping, but other things have come out that Puff might be responsible for killing one of his best friends.
Mm-hmm.
So that might have to do with it. And some of that, it came out in the documentary, I think, too, a little bit. I think a little piece of it.
A little bit there.
Yeah. So what I have to say, everybody's talking about this documentary, and I really have to say, because 50 is the biggest troll, and because 50 is petty, a lot of people assume this was just going to be a hit job, like a big smear campaign, a hit job against Diddy. I watched it 2.5 times, because I wanted to see something over. And I have to say, one, I am thoroughly impressed. He hired an award-winning director or producer or whatever.
Black woman, get it out.
And he hired the right people to put together a great documentary that is somewhat balanced, because it shows his rise and it shows some of the good stuff about him, and then it showed where it went bad. And it gives you a lens, and it has stuff from childhood friends onto people that were involved in the cases afterwards. And the last thing I just want to say, just before the show started, Larnez, remember the juror that was on, and she said, she liked the music, but she never met him? Pictures came out today of her with him. I don't know, at an event. Like, she's like cheesing, like as a fan or something, cheesing with him, that she was. I just seen that picture today before we started this show. I'll make sure I send it to you. But anyway, the documentary is good. It tells the good story of Diddy, like kind of like the rise and fall. It's not just one-sided, and it explains a lot. Like, I knew about the things that he did with videotaping people and showing them, and they talked about this in the thing, but I knew about that when he was going out in the early days of hip-hop. He was going to the rooftop, and he was going to all of that. Alpo used to do that in Harlem. Mm-hmm. Alpo, you watch Paid in Full? Mm-hmm. Alpo used to have sex with all these girls and then show it on the wall at the rooftop. And I know plenty of sisters from that era was like, you know how Chris Rock said his whole goal was to keep his daughter off the pole. And as long as he kept his daughter off the pole, talking about a stripper pole, he felt he did his job. There was a whole lot of sisters in Harlem. Their whole goal was to never end up on the rooftop wall. That was their whole goal. They was never going to be on the rooftop wall. Because, that put a whole lot of people out. There's a lot of people that, and he saw that. And he showed how he saw that. You know what I'm saying? And it showed you all these things that led to the behavior, and almost explains, it doesn't justify, but almost helps you explain how someone can switch from this to that. You know what I'm saying? And absolute power corrupts absolutely. They say that all the time. And he created him so. And lastly, I just want to say, and I'll let Larnez say, Diddy did himself such a disservice by trying to challenge the footage and send lawyers, because all he did was give it free publicity, ridiculous publicity, and people that might not even watched it watched it because they wanted to know what the hell was going on.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy literally is the monologue behind the documentary, because he had to have a camera crew follow him around, do all of this stuff, and the word is he didn't pay these people, and that's probably why. And 50 was like, "Oh, here's how much you want," and that's he used his own words against him and showed you the things that he was saying, stuff you've never seen nowhere else before. So, with that being said, I think it broke records with Netflix in the first couple of days, and 50 showed, you know, as an example of a street dude that was a real street dude that was hustling on the block, that took his hustle to the game and learned the game and learned the business and uses that same hustle in business. You know what I'm saying? And anything that he can make money and he brings people in, and yo, this was well done. And shout to that sister who directed it. Like I said, the black sister who directed it. I don't want to be clear, she was an award-winning director before he got her. You know what I'm saying?
Yes, indeed.
And she jumped on, and I seen an interview with her and him on. It's no longer MSNBC. Was it MS Now? MS Now. Ari the Beat had both of them on the beat, and I saw the clip of that online, and I saw her and the two of them in the other interviews too, and I was very impressed with her. So, Larnez, take it away.
Well, this documentary to me is saying a lot. It's telling on the industry, period, because people love to act like things happen in a vacuum. Right? There was NDAs, there was retaliation, there was industry blacklisting, there was trauma so deep that women literally swallowed their stories for years because they knew speaking out meant losing everything. Right? But this is also a moment
like the young boys. Pause. He said swallow their stories. I'll be like the younger boys. Pause. I'm sorry, I couldn't help that. I couldn't help that.
This is a moment to talk about how Black women and girls are protected. And let's be real, how they're not protected. Because statistically, 1 in Black women experience sexual violence. 1 in 4 Black women, experience sexual violence. And Black women are less likely to be believed, less likely to receive support, and more likely to carry blame from their own trauma. But I don't know. You didn't mention this, AJ. You didn't mention this. Did you? I was talking to AJ. I was talking to Damon about this. His tattoo on his back. Right? I've been seeing a lot of people whisper on my timeline about the enormous tattoo on Diddy's back, which he says is the Black Madonna, but it looks very similar to Azuli Dantor, which is a very high-ranking Haitian voodoo warrior mother. She is responsible for Haiti winning the French War. I don't know if you know that. Like, this woman particular, she's the protector of women who survive violence, mothers, people who endure deep suffering, the oppression, children. She is the Black Madonna with scars, the one who fights back. She is fierce protection. She is divine justice. She is vengeance for the harm. So my question:
having that tattoo on your back is an oxymoron. Is also like portraying Jesus on the cross in that "you can hate me now" video. Like, those are things you don't play with. Like, you don't play with certain things. You just don't play with certain things. Whether you're religious or not, you don't put yourself on the cross like Jesus.
And Dantor, she doesn't do.
And that was his. And let me just tell you, so way before the documentary, Nas came out. That was Diddy's idea to do it. It wasn't they was talked into it. Diddy wanted both of them to do it. I think Nas wouldn't do it. And then in the documentary, it shows Hezekiah came and said, "Yo, you don't do that." And now he had to change his mind, and then he wanted them to take it out, and it was already out, and Steve Stoute wouldn't. And then he had he had his boys. They say he beat up Steve Stoute. He had his goons beat up Steve Stoute, and then paid him a couple of $1 million. But you know what else it came out though? He preyed on other people's girls.
Did you see
When
that?
Albie
I didn't even know Misa was messing with Eric.
I did. But Kim Porter was Albie Shaw's girl, and he said, "I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her." Yo,
Hold on, AJ.
Misa.
It's one baby mother that they didn't talk about, which is Tupac's ex-girlfriend. Yes. Why didn't they speak about her through the whole? Tupac ex-girlfriend is Diddy's third daughter's baby mother. I mean, that's his baby mother.
Well, there was a lot of things that weren't talked about, but he preyed on Albie Shaw's girl. He preyed on Misa, who Eric said they were just friends, but I think they were more than that.
They were more than that.
He also preyed on Suge's side piece in Atlanta.
Mm-hmm.
That came out, like, you know what I'm saying, which furthered the beef between them. Like, I mean, I understand it was a side piece and it wasn't his main girl, but still, the point is, he wanted things that Cassie, when they showed Cassie came in this picture with her producer / boyfriend.
Mm-hmm.
Diddy aced him out of the picture and then took Cassie. Like, he preyed on what other people had, and he went to get them and make them his. And there was a pattern of that. They showed that in there. And that was like, yo, the mentality of that, like, yo, you had to go after somebody else's and you had to get them and make them yours. Like, and it's like you had to, and there was other people. Those are the only ones I can think of. But those are but they showed that history of that. And his violence, there were people that came and said when his mother told him something about, yo, she didn't know if it was a good idea for him to drop out of school after that City College situation, he smacked his mother.
Right. Yeah.
That's in the documentary. Yes. I watched that over just before the show so I can.
When I saw that part, I was like, yo, this dude is insane. And that was from his close friend.
Right.
The mother.
That Kurt Burrows said, or Kurt Burrows or the dude, the childhood friend. One of those two said it.
Childhood friend. It was a childhood.
Tim Patterson, I think. Yeah, but one of them said it, and he said, yo, and he said that moment, everything with that moment and everything after City College, he said, because it wasn't like, yo, how can I help these people and how can I make, it was all about how can I get away with this? And there was a history of that from City College to the situation with Shine and Jennifer in the club. It was all about how I can get away. And the footage that 50 decided to open with was basically that, how he could get away with this, how he could change the public perception, how he can change the narrative because he's getting beat up. And he wasn't even thinking he could lose. He was like, it's not just about just winning. It's so I can have a life after this. Y'all, I'm taking too many missiles right now, and y'all are not protecting me. And he talks about that 6 days before he gets arrested. And they show all of this is crazy. Like,
well, unfortunately, with that tattoo on his back, even when he comes through this, because he will come through this and he will get out, his mindset is currently messed up.
Yo, you know that scene in Color Purple? Until you do right by me, nothing good's gonna happen to you.
Right.
That tattoo on his back is promise of that. Like, until you do right by these women, ain't nothing good gonna come. Because the tattoo is of the women that's supposed to be a protector of all that. Like,
she is.
And you're violating all of that with the tattoo on your back.
Right.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
Well, go ahead, Damon.
Yes, David, you're right. Eric Sermon knows a whole lot more than he said.
Yeah, Eric Sermon knows a lot more.
But Eric's trying to still be in the business right now. So.
Right. Well, yeah, that's, you know, a lot of the silence is people still need the business, right? And they still need, you know, to be in it. But the bottom line is this: Puppy's a piece of shit, right? He's a piece of shit. He's not a man. You know, any man that hits a woman like the way he hit Cassie, I have no respect for him. Period.
There's no excuse. There's no excuse for that.
Exactly.
At all.
And as the father of a daughter,
I would have killed him.
And Damon as a grandfather of a daughter, yo, there's no way for other daughter. The trial wouldn't have been his. The trial would have been mine.
Exactly. I would have killed. Because he's not a fighter. See, that's the crazy. He technically he's not built like that. The only thing that makes him built like that is his money.
Right.
Right. He's not a fighter. He was never built like that.
Right.
You know, and it's sad that he's going to get out, and he's going to continue to use people with low self-esteem.
And promise that Carrot, like that producer, he didn't pay that money
for 2 years.
He didn't pay, and still hasn't paid him. And then when he offered, and he was supposed to get $250,000, and then they offered him $29,000, and he still didn't get that. Like, yo,
listen, he never. Well, that's the reason why. Look, he was so used to doing it. That's how 50 we just talked about. That's how 50 got the cake. You didn't pay the person. And I was watching the dude from TMZ and Mike, what's that, the French defense lawyer, Mike Zaragos or whatever, because his daughter was one of the lawyers on the case, on Puffy's case. So, and he explained that the guy that took that video was a substitute for the real videographer. So he didn't know when to turn the camera off. Right? Right, because the real videographer would turn the camera. Oh shit, legal stuff. I'm gonna turn it off. He just kept the camera rolling. Right. So Puffy ain't pay him. That's rule number one. That's the way you silence stuff. But Puff learned paying don't stop things. He paid $50,000 so the hotel footage wouldn't come out, and we all seen it, right?
Well, $50,000 ain't nothing.
No, but no. The feds. I think the feds put that out.
Well, my point is, even paying $50,000 didn't stop that. So, but that's rule number one. When you a person of power, you buy it and you kill it. You know what I'm saying? You kill it, like you buy it and you silence it. You don't just say, "Oh, I'm not going to pay you," when you leave somebody with ammunition like that on you, like that. Is as shrewd as he's supposed to be as a businessman, that's a failing. Like that's you don't know.
Well, when you're used to
getting your way and abusing people,
doing that to people, and a lot of people don't have resources to get a lawyer. A lot of people need to stay in the business of entertainment itself. They don't want to get blackballed because if you sue Puffy, then ain't nobody else going to mess with you, right? Mm-hmm. Because I mean that it's. He took advantage of how the industry culture is, you know, and people wanting fame. Because you heard that girl, you know, a lawyer said, you ain't getting nothing out of this but fame. And she said she's still
badge. Yeah. For the contract. What about the other girl? What about the other girl? The witnesses, her friend, the people who witnessed the abuse that she took. When she wanted them to testify, he was like, "Nah, I can't do that. I might not be invited to no more of his parties." It wasn't even a music thing. It was just about being invited to parties. I was like,
that's bananas.
Yo, dude, so that's like...
And that's how sick the culture is, right? You know, this is how sick.
And that's why Russell Simmons left the country. Because Russell got dirt like this going on too, but he left the country. They can't even serve him. Because there's a whole bunch of stuff with him too. There's a lot of these people. Like, see, and you know what? I told you mentioned Reggie. Reggie was like, "Oh, I'm not the first person to do it." When we said he was a conflict of interest for him being the board of election and the county, and I said, "Yeah, but when black people do shit that white people do, when y'all learn, black people go to jail." Yeah, white people have been doing this forever. And here's the biggest thing that I found out. So when he was making that liquor company, the liquor company that puts out Ciroc, I don't know what their parent name, I forgot. He was making them millions and tens and millions and maybe hundreds of millions of dollars.
Hundreds of millions.
When he accused them of racism or something, whatever he accused, they were remember in the early Trump days they were saying TMZ or whatever that the National Enquirer, they were doing a catch and kill. So if somebody had a story about this, they would pay him and they would kill it for Trump. That's what this liquor company was doing because he was making them so much money. they were dead in stories and stuff. But once he came publicly against them, they were like, "Oh, fuck it then." And they released, and they let the hounds go. There was no more protection, and that's when everything started coming out.
Oh, I mean,
but everything he was saying was true.
No,
everything he was saying was true.
Yeah, but I'm saying, but you bite the hand. That's the bite the hand and feed you thing. He was, black people don't understand. He was a useful nigga because he was making them hundreds of millions of dollars. When he started to bite the hand and feed them and accuse them of all kinds of things that is unfavorable and make them look bad, that's when they let go of the protection. And okay, that's what you want to do. Let me. I can show you better than I can tell you. And they released all the protection, and that was it.
Here's Puffy's problem. And Luke said it one time, and it's just not Puffy. It's just not Puffy. It's a lot of black entertainers and music moguls and all that. When they get with these real big rich people, right? They give them their secrets. They invite them to these parties. They put them so they know your business. So once you flip or once you stand on your own, they already know the information. They already have compiled all the information on you to take you down. See, this is what we do. And we do it. I mean, it's just a lack of strategy and a lack of understanding because these people are not your friends. You know, we
should have known better because that's what he was doing.
Well, yeah, but I don't know. I was listening to an interview and Suge Knight was talking to somebody about the Hollywood parties, and he was like, "Yo, if you don't sniff coke, don't sniff coke in the room. If you ain't digging dudes' asses out, don't dig dudes' asses out in the party. Don't do nothing that you wouldn't do. Still be yourself in the setting."
That's why they trying to get him. That's what they were trying to get him for, the drugging them in the drinks and all that, drug them people to get them to do things that they normally wouldn't do. That's what they were trying to prove in the RICO case that they couldn't prove.
Well, let me tell you something. Little Rod. Little Rod.
He woke up and his ass was hurting. He ain't know why.
I guess Little Rod ain't testify. Because when that motherfucker said, "Yo, I be waking up and I'm sore and all this, and I wake up and sometimes the girl's in the bed and then sometimes Puffy in the bed," I'm like, dude.
It was the turbulence.
I said, dude, do you understand what you just said? Like, dude,
the chick, Audrey O'Day, the girl Audrey O'Day, she found out she was raped from somebody else's testimony. They made a statement and they sent it to her, and she's reading and she has no recollection of that.
Right.
And that's why the person who did the documentary is going to be in the same. Yo, my sister said one thing. My sister said, 50 better hope he has no skeletons. Because, the person who trolled everybody, if you got a skeleton, boy, everybody coming for you. So he better hope he don't have no skeletons.
But what's that movie? What's that movie with the man, not Unusual Suspect.
Unusual Suspect?
The one where his house got broken into and Enemy of the State. No, it's not Enemy of the State. Jamie Foxx is in it. He's the lawyer. And they came in and they raped his family. And he was very calculated. I really feel like this is Diddy getting justice for his friend. Because a lot of people's like, "Oh, it's because his baby mom's was his girlfriend." No, she probably leaked some information to this nigga too.
Listen, 50 is not finished.
Oh no! Wait, he just said when he did this, he planned 2 years in advance. There's another clip I'm gonna send it to you. He said, "Yo, he has other stuff." He said he didn't talk. He only showed a few of the interviews he did. He said he did over 100 interviews. He still has all that proof. And he said, and then he brought everything that he could buy. Jadakiss said after verses, what they did, he said they let off some clips. He said, but they had way more clips that they didn't let off. 50 got more clips that he got stuff he ain't.
The next one is coming out. Listen to Negro Dollars. The next one is coming out. when Puffy gets released.
That would be a good time.
The Reckoning Part 2. Trust me, if 50 has been in the entertainment business, the filmmaking business, the TV making business, if he has all that, they're already working on the next one. Mm-hmm. The fact that it broke numbers, Netflix want a next one.
Right. They probably made it off already. They probably
exactly.
They green lighted it already. Yeah.
So it's that one when Puffy get out, watch what happens. And now shit, Netflix is the motherfucker now. Netflix owns goddamn Warner Brothers, right? Right. Netflix is Netflix is the big dog.
Yo, and you know how in movies like Scarface, his demise was when he started turning on the people that protected him. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember his right-hand man and all them other things. And when you start shitting on all those people, those are the people who had your back. Now it's just you with your gun out there by yourself. Like, that was 50. I mean, that was Diddy. Mm-hmm. He had all his big guns, he done turned on them. All the people that was with him, he did them dirty. And it's just like, yo, you can't, karma is a bitch. And people don't understand that. Yo, what you do comes back and
tenfold.
And I wish the brother no harm in jail. Let me be clear. You know what I'm saying? But things happen to people like when you live in this life, like, yo, there's a price to pay, because he got to the point where he thought that he was like Gotti, he was like Teflon Don, but you seen even Gotti got. You understand what I'm saying? Like, yo, there is no Teflon Don, like, and he got away without having any lawsuits from the city college thing, and that's why he put 75% of the business in his mother's name, and Justice and the other businesses were all in his mother's name. You know what I'm saying? So nobody could come for him. The thing with the Shine thing, he left Shine in the wind, and he you know what I'm saying, he survived that, and he survived several other things too. And at some point, when there's no price to pay, the childhood friend who lived in his house, said one thing. He said, the difference between us, I had a father in my house to teach me right from wrong, and he didn't have that. Mm. So my point is, he's not paid the price for anything he's done. And at some point, you start thinking you can get away with anything. Like, there's nothing that can touch you. You know what I'm saying? And, yo, everybody falls. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, and great big white people fell. So, you know, you pissing off, and you black as it is, they want to take you down anyway. I mean, let's put it there. And you giving them ammunition, like, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So, you know, yo, he did get lucky, because the DA, the prosecutors, they did a piss poor job improving their case. And one of the jurors was like, yo, they believe he was guilty of arson and attempted murder of Kid Cudi, but those weren't charges.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Those weren't charges. Arson and attempted murder wasn't, but they believe that. Like, if they added that to the charges, they might have convicted him of those things, because they believe he was guilty of those. They didn't prove the RICO part of it. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, they put all their eggs in one basket. Right. They did a piss poor job of proving it, and that's why he didn't get none of the bigger charges, because there's other things he could have been convicted of. But they dropped the ball on that, and they got him for the little things they can get him for. He lucky that he's going to see the light, there's a possibility of him seeing the light of day, because he was going for life.
Well, I don't know. After this documentary, he responsible for Biggie, Zip, Tupac, G, Justin, and him was responsible for somebody in the studio, and Aaliyah, because that's going around now. It's so it seems like every conspiracy
and the mysterious illness that Albie Shore had.
Right. On top of that.
That yo.
On top of that.
The mysterious illness.
And who's
the other one? And Jamie Foxx was the other one.
Jamie Foxx.
Those are those.
Oh, yeah.
But these are things that, Jamie want to keep moving forward. He got through it. And he ain't moving forward. Al is only saying but so much. He's coming. He's throwing it out there, but he won't pull. I don't know if he's waiting for a perfect time or whatever, but he's only saying but so much. So I don't know. I don't know. But there are so many other things that, and I was told very early on when the real truth comes out about Biggie and Tupac, neither Suge or Puff's hands are clean. They're both of them gonna have blood on their hands, both of them. That's what we were told early on.
I believe that because they was
people in the know that just couldn't tell everything at the time because they couldn't tell everything. But they said when the truth comes out, Puff definitely got blood on his hands. For Big too, because there's a video where he's talking to Gene and another dude, and he comes back and he's like, Biggie's effing up my thing, and I'm not letting nobody F what I'm trying to do. Everybody could get going. And when he left, the dude said to Gene, said, yo, did he just talk about Biggie could be done too? Biggie could get killed too? There's a video of this, like, of that conversation, of the two bodyguards having a conversation. He's like, remember when he said that? And yo, a lot of people think his hands is dirty on that too. Like, because Big was leaving. Big started the label Untainment with his partner Un, and had Junior Mafia and all of them on there. And he was literally writing a lot of the rhymes because C's tells you that Big wrote all his rhymes. You know what I'm saying? C's has come out and said that. So Puff owned Big's publishing, and Puff wasn't getting no money.
Big wasn't getting no money.
Puff wasn't getting no money from Big writing Junior Mafia. He wasn't getting Puff wasn't getting no money off of that. Big cut him out. He went to the studio that night, the night Tupac, to confront Big because he was in the studio with Junior Mafia. That's the reason Big Puff was even there. He was there to confront Big. Somebody said there's no volume. Can anybody else hear? Because Jeff Anderson said he can't hear. And I see volume. I see the dots moving on my thing when I'm talking. So.
The dots are moving on mine too.
And I hear all of y'all. So Jeff, I don't know if you might just have to go out and come back in, or you muted something, or I don't know. But if anybody else is still tuned in, I need to know, can y'all hear? Because there's only one person saying they can't hear. So just give me we can hear you, thumbs up or something. Craig Mack. Oh, don't leave out the Craig Mack. There's a video of Craig Mack that came out, and he's sitting there telling, and he's like, yo, I'm not somebody with a gun, but I had to sit there with a gun because they was coming for me. And he's talking about Puff wanting, oh, thank you, James. James said he can hear. Puff wanting Puff. He won't mention Puff, but he's talking about Puff, how he's trying to get him to sign something for another deal or something. And if he didn't do it, they were threatening to kill him. And Craig started talking about he had to start carrying a gun. And in the interview, he's like, I got it on me right now. And he's telling the story. Yo, another thing, telltale sign, every artist who ever left either got killed, went to jail, or turned to religion.
True.
Craig Mack became a born-again Christian and joined a cult in North Carolina, South Carolina. Mace became a pastor and a rapper and then a pastor and I don't know what else. The other dude, the tall dude, Loon, what was it, Loon? One of them? He's an Orthodox, whatchamacallit. He's a big religious person now. Then Craig ended up getting killed. Puff is killed. Black Rob is dead.
And Black Rob had some mental illness. He had a whole bunch of breakdowns.
Yeah. But his treatment, Shine. I said Shine. Shine is a redemption story because of what he overcame and what he's doing now. That's just a redemption story. But and because of that, he won't really take it. He's like, I'm moving on. But I'm glad y'all are asking the questions because y'all are asking all the right questions. But I'm not going to give you the information. But y'all are asking the right questions. That's what he's saying. Yeah. So this dude, the dude that was down with Tupac, he said, Joe, this is not a violent dude. Anybody knows him, he is no way a violent dude. But there's so much violence around him, and everything around him ends in violence. And then it was like Pac wouldn't work with him.
One of the dudes.
Remember he said Pac would work with him? He wanted Pac. Go ahead.
Yeah, Pac
one of the dudes that I think it was his the dude who started the Black Bad Boy with him. He stated, like, when
Kurt
he
Burroughs.
got that one point when they were able to buy Biggie album from Arista and he got that 1.5, He's always been a paper gangster, right?
Right, and
And now the money,
and he wanted to be helped him. He wanted to be, you know, a street gangster,
street
but
cred.
you know,
He wanted to get the street
right,
cred
right.
along with being a paper gangster. How much are you proving yourself to be that, though?
So Damon, while I can't confirm 100%, but from the research that I've been doing and people I've talked to, you remember the movie American Gangster? You remember remember Idris Elba character? Remember when Denzel was telling him he needed to pay that money and he didn't pay it, and he shot him in the middle of the street and his brothers was in the restaurant?
Mm-hmm.
That's supposed to be Diddy's father. That's Idris Elba's character is supposed to be Diddy's father. Yes.
Oh, what?
He died like that.
Wow.
Don't nobody confirm. Like, this is what I'm looking into and this is what I'm hearing. So I don't independently corroborate all of that. You know what I'm saying? But from what I'm hearing, that character was based on Diddy. That guy watch the movie and see if the dude's name was Melvin. Because if his name is Melvin, that's
actually. I think he had a nickname. I think he had a nickname.
Yeah. But I don't know what his name was. But whether that was him, supposedly that character is loosely based on what happened to
really?
Diddy's father Melvin. Because he ran in them circles with Frank Lucas and Nicky Barnes and all of them. He was in that circle. He was in that circle. Yeah.
Interesting.
So NDAs are the reason why some people stay silent. Yeah, that too, because they took the money. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But again, that goes to show when you do NDAs to keep people quiet, you pay people who got film like that on you, that you don't let those people walk out. Like you don't let people walk away with you with film like that. You don't let nobody walk away. He said Diddy's father was Frank Lucas' driver for years. Ask me how I know, family ties, LOL. But I know he was around that, yeah. But his father died the way the Idris Elba character died. That part I do, but I don't know if that was supposed to be his father or, you know what I'm saying, based on that thing. But yeah. But yeah, that shit is crazy though. But yeah, yo, overall, my overall recommendation, everybody, I recommend everybody see it. It was definitely worthwhile. It was definitely a well balanced. It'll definitely take you into the mind and the trajectory of Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He didn't start out that way. His mom, you know what I'm saying, had him going to all the private schools and all that stuff to keep him away from all of that. You know what I'm saying? And kept him away from the Harlem family, his father's family. She purposely kept them away and all that. And he ended up hanging out with them in later years anyway. But yo, he wasn't the guy who lived in the house in the first floor knew as a little boy, and the kid that went to Mount St. Michael's. Again, I'm glad they said that, because he never went to Mount Vernon High School. I tell people he never went to Mount Vernon High School. He went to Mount St. Michael's. That's the Catholic school. He didn't go to high school with us. So I'm just saying, because people are like, yo, but he had a Mount Vernon High School jacket. Nope. I don't care if he had a jacket. He might have had some money to get a jacket, but he was never about. But anyway, that cat is not the same cat that we see now.
Oh, look it. I ain't hear this.
I need y'all to answer the question about his upbringing and his parents. I'm hearing that Janice is not his real mother and Melvin is not. Yo, I don't know anything about that. I can't answer that.
I don't know nothing about that, man.
Right. And I'm not getting into I'm not getting into all that. As far as he's concerned, Janice is his mother.
Mm-hmm.
And Janice told him that Melvin was his father, because he wouldn't remember it anyway, because he never got to know his father. So that's all I know. And at this point, what I would tell you, David, yo, there's going to be a lot of stuff on the internet, and there's going to be a lot of allegations, a lot of propaganda, and a lot of bullshit. So make sure you look into them situations before you repeat stuff like that, because I can't confirm or deny no shit like that. But I never heard none of that. And as far as I know, all his life, Janice is his mom, and Janice is the one that held him down, and he put everything in her name. So that's the part I do know.
After this show, everybody listening, I'm not having no more conversations about this shit. Public a piece of shit. He deserved everything he got. And anybody that's dismissing or trying to defend this Negro, then you're defending the bullshit that he's done to people for over the years. Like I don't defend that. God has given him everything he's supposed to get. See, this is what we're missing. This is what we're missing.
And Hezekiah Walker told him that when he told him to get that footage of him playing Jesus on the cross. He was like, yo, dude, everything is going to go. Nothing good can come from this. And Hezekiah also told him that you get what you reap what you sow. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you put out there is coming back to you. Mm-hmm. And that's the thing. Yo, God.
Listen, you can't
get away with stuff for years, but they end up getting there.
God is always, listen, you think you're getting away with shit. You think you done creeped on your wife, you done creeped on your husband, you done did dirty shit to people, you done did shit behind closed doors to people, you done did whatever, and you think you got away with it. You never get away with it. You never get away with it.
Best thing you can do is repent and ask for forgiveness. That's the best thing you can do.
Exactly. The scripture says, and I'm paraphrasing, the most blessed man is the man that God hides his sins. The most blessed man, right? But and God doesn't hide your sins all the time.
But if you repent, if you do repent and all that, he washes them away. That's what the Bible says, though. But you have to honestly repent. You have to
you wash them away.
Yeah, you have to honestly repent. Oh, why did they slip TD Jakes? Why did they slip TD Jakes in? That ain't right. Who slipped? He wasn't. Was he in the documentary? He wasn't in the documentary, right?
Was he in there? I don't even remember.
I don't even remember because I done seen it 3 times and I'm still missing some parts.
But he did come out. He was at the parties though.
He definitely was at the parties.
But again, let me just be clear. So there are 2 different kind of parties. Like people have gone to parties, and there's the regular party, and then there's another party going on that most people that are at the party don't know what's going on. That's either upstairs or downstairs or in the basement somewhere. There's another party going on. So a lot of people be at the white parties and they be out by the pool. They don't know that this other party is going on. Mm-hmm. So I'm not saying TD Jakes is innocent or guilty. I'm just saying just being at one of his parties don't mean that you were at a jump off of whatever they used to call that, whatever he called it.
But it does mean I'm going to look at you a little crooked, especially.
No, listen. No. Let me tell you.
What you promote, the house of God.
You shouldn't be at those kind of functions.
Well,
that's what I'm saying.
People tell you this is an age of social media, right? So everybody want to be seen, whether you're a pastor, whether you this and that. Everybody want to be seen. Now, I talk to my man Carl all the time, and he said to me, he said, "Yo, bro, he been a lot of puffy parties." He said, "But I ain't never seen he did." And this is the thing: either they were separate parties, right, that when you went, you knew what you was going there for, right. Now, Carl was telling me, he said, "Dude, I was there like 2-3 o'clock in the morning." He said, "I ain't seen nothing." Right. It's one of the parties he had after award show, and Carl said he was there. Right. And he was like, "Dude, I didn't see nothing." He said, "So if it's a special entrance to the motherfucker, right, that only certain people know, or there's special freak off parties."
Right. That happened like upstairs.
That when you go,
that's what you're going. Yeah,
Right. Mm-hmm. This is a freak off party. So I mean,
Denzel had the best answer even before all of this came out. Denzel said he's going to these industry parties, and he says he leaves before the devil gets there. He don't stay. He goes to show his face, like those after parties for the before. He shows his face. He'll be there, and he the hell out of there before all that other shit. And Luke had the best answer. Luke was like, "Yo, I sell sex for a living." Like on his records, he said, "I can't live that lifestyle." He said, "There's no way. Like they be gunning for me. They looking for me to do something like that. Like I talk about this. That's what I sell on records. There's no way I could live that way." Mm-hmm. He said, "I don't go to those parties." And he even said if he do go, he leave early too. And when Luke say that he go to a Diddy party and he leave before shit happened, that's Luke. When Luke tell you that your parties is off the hook, that he got to go.
Everybody
that should say something.
Everybody knew, and just like Chopper said in the interview, he said, "Look, everybody throws those parties. Everybody do. everybody, he said Suge Knight threw the party. And that's when Suge Knight told him, you be yourself. If you're about that life, you're going to be about that. If you're not about that life, you ain't going to be about that. Right. And then Chopper said some more other stuff too. But at the end of the day, that's the industry. And that's what Cat Williams was talking about. That God is going to expose all these freaks and entertainment freaks, right? Because now, where did Puffy get it from? Clive Davis came out publicly that he was bisexual.
Right.
Well, all of the pictures with him and Puffy, you side-eyeing. Right. Like, why are you sitting that close to this man?
Well, because that's that shit, right? Now, we don't know. Unless some
we know you can tell.
But I ain't gonna say it.
I know where you retire from. Right. Behavior and people's movement speak volumes before they even speak.
Right. And Andre Harrell used to work for Russell. You see what situation he's in, and he left, and he mentored Puff too. But you remember the conversation? I'll say this, we can probably bounce whenever. When Wayne Lewis, when Atlantic Star was on, and me and him was talking about, there's certain levels of, rest in peace to my brother, there's certain levels. The reason Atlantic Star never got to that next level of stardom is because there's shit that they just wouldn't do. Because there is a level of, you have to do some things to get to certain levels, and I'm not saying everybody who's a superstar has done something, but if you're not willing to do certain things and they have something on you, you will never get to those levels. And he said he was happy with their level of success, and he just kept doing that and being them because they was never about that life, and they was never going to do those things. And I was like, yo, I can relate to that because there's certain levels I never reached, and you know what I'm saying, in my career. Like I wasn't and there's certain levels not reaching. I was never invited to those parties. I wasn't even on the level to be in attendance.
So AJ, so
you gotta be on the level to be.
No, wait, AJ, what you saying? You was invited?
I ain't saying I went to Russell Simmons parties. I never been to any of the white parties or anything. Russell Simmons used to have the annual party, the Christmas party on the roof and all that stuff. But I think there was after parties after that too. But I was never in that upper echelons to, I wasn't knowing none of that stuff was going on. I went to the party, we bounced. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of those parties, there's the after party. Yo, I went to music conventions and there's somebody had a party and they had strippers in there dancing with all the press and everything and all that. And if you were somebody big, you got to go in the back room with whoever you wanted to and do whatever you wanted. I wasn't on that level. You know what I'm saying? That was their form of payola.
That happens in the industry, but that was happening in our community during COVID.
Oh yeah.
Talk about it.
I meant
they would have a whole bunch of house parties.
Look, it wasn't happening up here. I don't know where the hell y'all at.
I told Damon as part one of them industry conventions that was in Dallas. So one of the girls at that party, and she's dancing on my lap, and she was like, she realized that I recognized her, and she's like, "Oh, please don't say nothing." She was married and lived around the corner from me. Her husband thinks she went on a girls' trip for the weekend. Her girls, she out stripping for the weekend. She made a lot of money, but I'm just saying her husband thinks her and her girls went on vacation or something. And I was like, yo, that shit made me not trust a whole lot of shit. I was just like, yo, see that wife and mother that live around the corner, and she was one of the strippers. I was like, oh shit, yo. So that but yo, the industry, but yeah, Wayne was talking about that. There's certain things that they put you in compromising positions. Cat Williams talked about the dress, and we've just seen some more footage of somebody else who's very popular wearing a big red one.
Hold on. I was talking to Damon about this. So he was in a dress.
On stage,
and then he was, and I don't know if everybody paid attention. Then he was at the Thanksgiving Day parade. Who float was he on, Damon? And who I was talking about the other day?
Who float? You guys,
Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
He was on the Teenage Mutant.
He was on the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. So, AJ, I was watching Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
So I guess the new Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle, he got a deal. So you got to put the dress on if you want this deal.
Right, but listen to this.
That's the way
that's what Cat Williams said. Cat Williams said a lot of those people
get
levels of success after they wore the dress.
Right. Yeah. Right. But look at Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, right? They are underground. They move under tunnels, right? They codename is pizza.
She be taking it. Codename pizza.
that's a code name for pedophiles, right?
Really? Oh shit.
Yes. And who is their best friend?
Wait, April. I lost you. Say that last part again, because I lost you.
What part?
Say that last part about the pizza, whatever you said.
So pizza is a code name for pedophiles. They call them pizza.
Is what?
Code name for pedophiles.
Code name.
Right? Hold on. So they eat pizza underground in a tunnel, and their best friend is April. She's controlling the media. Come on. Wow. And he was on the float.
So there might be a movie coming out, huh?
I'm just saying, it's crazy.
Well, all I know,
pizza.
I'm not accused.
Stranger danger.
I know.
Stranger danger.
Right. I know that a lot of people, and Cat Williams talked about a lot of people wearing dresses in there. Even Kevin Hart, he accused of Kevin Hart. You know, his career took a whole nother trajectory after that Saturday Night Live scene, the thing he said he would never do before that. And it was like if they made him prove that he would, and then so it's just like there are levels of this shit, and Puff was part of that gatekeeper shit too. He learned from that, and he was doing that because he got tapes. Another reason people was quiet, he got tapes on a lot of people. They didn't even know if their tapes was coming out. There's a whole lot of people who was real quiet and didn't have an opinion on him in public because there were tapes, and they don't know where those tapes are. And if the feds got it or if he hit them, there are tapes out there on some really big, important people. Yeah. So that's what he was doing, compromising people and videotaping them, and then be like, yo, when you try to do something, they'd be like, oh, yeah, before you make up your decision, you might want to watch this. You know what I'm saying? You'd be like, yo.
Bananas.
Yeah, and that was part of his protection, but he got too big for his britches. He flew what's that with the dude who flew too close to the sun and his wings burnt? What's that dude's name? The character who flew too close. Icarus. Yeah, he flew too close to the sun and he burned his wings burned. He flew too close to the sun. You know, so I just, you know, I pray for his family though. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't know what's, you know, he that learned behavior. I'm hoping it didn't pass down to him. Oh, Mick Mills. Yeah.
Well, Mick Mills was in same outfits with Diddy at parties, like they were twins.
They were clowning him when he started saying no Diddy. They was like, not you. He said, you can't say no. They were clowning. I don't know if that's true or not with Meek Mills, but I'm just saying there's a lot of stuff out there, and I can tell you, I definitely don't know if it's true or not. But it's like, yo, you got to play the game to get super, super successful, and he had a meteoric rise from intern to VP in a year under Andre Harrell. Like he was an unpaid intern and was VP by the end of the year. Like that was unheard of as well. And these things, so maybe he was compromised, and you know what I'm saying? Because you know when it happens to you, you get us that learned behavior you pass on to other people. You know what I'm saying? Just like if you was an artist that really got taken advantage of, just on that level. When you put out artists, you take advantage of them. You know what I'm saying? It's just like you know. So I heard screaming. Let me stop. Oh. I was wondering what Meek Mills had to say. I heard screaming. No, let me stop. There are people who said they opened certain doors and seen certain things, and they never went back to the parties, and they never said another thing about it. And they moved on with their life, and they won't speak on what they saw. They ain't testifying, but they not speaking on it either.
Wow.
But that documentary. Bottom line is the documentary is a good story of the rise and fall and what he said, the reckoning, and out of the 100 lawsuits, 79 are still pending. So even after life, after the 50 months or whatever, I don't know if you get less time for good behavior or whatever, there's all of that. He has all of them lawsuits, and they're not all going to be dismissed.
Nope.
You understand what I'm saying? In civil suits, the burden of proof is a lot less than a criminal case.
But what he did with all that money, the money that he made from the liquor, what were you doing with it? What did he do with it?
No, he still got
it. And he was living extravagantly. A lot of things is in his mother's name. Remember I told you that?
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
So the kids might be taken care of because the mother might have the money for them.
Mm-hmm.
You understand what I'm saying? And let's say Bad Boy, 75% of Bad Boy was in her name. Just in the restaurant, the Atlanta one and New York one were in her name.
Mm.
Those are the ones those are things I know. I don't know about all the other stuff.
It's all, listen, he's no different than Trump. Right?
Mm-hmm.
On paperwork, they broke.
Yeah.
And that's what rich people do. That's why you cannot tax rich people. Like this is it just shows you you cannot tax rich people. They know how to move their money, hide their money, make it inaccessible.
Wait.
Only on motherfuckers that get W-2s.
I'm laughing because Damon is talking about taxes in every segment.
Right. But the joke, I had a joke though. You mentioned Trump though. Trump was talking about pardoning a whole lot of people, but he changed his tune on Diddy though.
No, you know why?
He changed it real quick.
No, he said it in the interview. He put that shit to rest in the interview. And what he said, he was like, yo, we had a great relationship in the beginning. We was cool. All of a sudden, I decided to run for president. He had all these things to say about me. And in the piece, they put all the stuff Puffy was saying about him. Calling him a racist and blah, we got to get this, blah, 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 blah. He said, so for Puffy, no, I'm not.
Somebody said Tom Brady don't got nothing in his name either.
Yeah. No, but that's the